What's up, LFG fam? Welcome back to another review here on the channel. Today, you guys saw it, you clicked it. We went to go see Venom: The Last Dance yesterday, and we're here to give you guys our thoughts and opinions on it and see what we think. If you guys are new here to the LFG fam, then we'd like to give you guys our ratings right off rip. We don't like to leave you guys in anticipation. You guys know where we're at right away. So without further ado, let's rate the movie. Jet, you want to go first? What did you think, man? What's your overall rating of the movie?
This one is tough for me, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna do it, but this is like the one instance where I feel like the Cody method would help me out so bad. Because just to rip the Band-Aid off, I don't think this is a good movie. I will say that off for it. But I enjoyed the fuck out of this movie. I will say, for what it gave me, the laughs, the action. I guess my biggest problem would be the plot and some of the ways that it was shot. But I was entertained. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I wasn't. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna go with a 6 because I did enjoy it, but I can see the flaws. And they didn't do the one thing that I didn't want them to mess up. And so it got praise for me for that, I will say. But yeah, I'll stick with the 6 for now.
Okay, there you go, a 6. I like the first one. I know a lot of people didn't. A lot of people don't like these movies at all, and I get that. I understand it. Totally valid. I enjoyed the first movie. The second one, I'm with you guys. It's like it's whatever. We don't need to talk about that. Whatever. It was bad. This third one, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Like Jet mentioned, I did like it. I did have a fun time watching it. I didn't find myself being bored at any point. I just really like the movie. So I'm at a 7 myself with this one. So that's where we sit. And I know it's getting like 30s on Rotten Tomatoes and, 4s and 5s and all that. So just go judge it for yourself. See what you think. If you don't like the first two already, then you're probably not going to like this one, right? Like that's just the way it is. So there you guys go. You got a 7 from me. You got a 6 from Jet. So go ahead and leave your if you've seen it, go ahead and drop your ratings down in the comments below. And so now's the point of the episode or the show video. Sorry, that we get into the spoilers. So if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. If you want to check it out, again, I don't know, it's up to you. Go check it out and come back and watch the video and see what you guys thought about it. So yeah, without further ado, Jet, let me go first, man. Let me talk about the most important thing of this whole movie.
Yeah.
Post Malone, man, was at the end credit scene because I know we all sat there at the end, man. We all sat for the end credit scenes. Post Malone's song came up. I had some help. I told you I was gonna bring Diamond, man. It's gonna do it. It's gonna do it. But no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm Post
Real
Malone,
quick though, while we're there, because we probably won't talk about it again. As soon as that came on, because obviously you saw it before me, just because of where we live. I leaned over to Andre and I heard the beat and I was like, oh, JMag went crazy. And she didn't recognize the song at first, and I was like, no. I do the TikToks and I run a lot of the social medias. Like I know that song to a T. As soon as it came on, I was like, man, JMag's losing his fucking mind. So
it fit. I had some help. It fit him and Venom, So yeah. Rain, bro. I don't know what I guess I brainwashed my kids, or I just listened to it so much that they love Post Malone too. Like they hear his music. Rain in particular was with me to watch the movie. She recognized right away, started dancing. But yeah, so that was cool. Little Post Malone had some help. Was in the second song, I think, at the end of the credits. So that was pretty cool. But no, yeah, I'm just kidding. Let's talk. You want to talk about the negatives first? Let's get those out the way. I don't know if there's probably going to be more negatives, maybe, than them positives.
Yeah, we can. Damn, I guess it's not a negative because, well, I don't know. Okay, I'll just start with this. So there was a point in time, and I can go to the direct scene where I kind of knew, like as soon as I saw that, I was like, ooh, that's not a good indication of how the rest of this is gonna go. And it was a scene where the general or the major, whatever.
Strickland.
Yeah, Strickland. He gets word that Venom and Eddie, he gets word of where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
The very next cut, the next scene, he's there, full of the chopper, already on him. I was like, damn.
In the river? Is it?
Yes, in the
Yeah,
river.
we'll take the Osprey. We'll take the Osprey, and yeah, they're there already. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. That was kind of wild.
He just got that information.
Yeah.
2 seconds later, he's pulling up on him. I was like, yo, what the
that's
hell? And there was just cuts like that throughout the movie where
I can see that.
I was like, I don't know. Another one was the dad who played the lizard.
Yeah.
I don't know the actor's name.
I don't know if I'm saying it right. Rice Ifans. I don't know if I'm saying that. RHYS. Rice Ifans.
So him. I thought he did a good job with the role that he was given. I thought it was a funny character. But their family towards the end of the movie, they pull off, and then he's like the savior of the day with a fucking rocket launcher. I was just like, bro, what the
Where'd you learn how to use it?
Yeah. So there was just things like that made the movie feel a little silly at times. Obviously, like the characters of Eddie and Venom are kind of like silly and goofy for the most part. So that's kind of like incorporated into the movie. I don't think the movie ever really took itself too serious.
No, not at all.
Yeah, like I think it did a good job on that front. Like if that's gonna be the game plan, stick to that. You know, don't merge, don't try to be too serious when you're not. Like I thought it did a good job in that aspect, but just some of the cuts and I guess you can attest that to the script. This was directed by Kelly Marcel, who did not direct either one of the first two.
Mm-hmm.
But she did help write on I think
and
for
Tom Hardy.
sure one of them. I don't know if both of them, probably both of them. But she definitely helped with the script on those two. Andy Serkis wrote the second one, or directed the second one.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know.
But yeah, it just kind of felt like maybe she should have stuck. Well, I can't even say that because the other two aren't good. So I don't know. Maybe she's the problem. Maybe
here, give it a shot, man. It's our last one.
yeah, probably. But yeah, I don't know. Just because I guess this can transition to Noel. The whole plot is this creature that's just hunting them down. Like that is the problem.
Yeah.
The whole movie.
Yeah.
Noel he's not in this. Like
not at all.
And I don't even know if I would. Right. And I don't even know if I would say that they use Noel to sell tickets, but that's kind of what it feels. They definitely did. What it feels like.
Yeah.
Because he is the plot. Like they're trying to stop him from being released. Yeah. But it's like that still is Noel. Like they said no, and I wanted to see this movie even more.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I don't know. The main villain just kind of being this bug creature. I liked what the bug could do.
That was a cool design. That was a cool way to fight, and how that I loved it. I love that alien. But that being the antagonist and how powerful it was, like everybody was getting got in this by that. If he saw you and you shot at it, you're dead. Like, why were people shooting it at it in the first place? Like, chill out, stop shooting. He'll leave, relax. But yeah, or she, because they even said at one point, "This is your sister," and there you go. So they're females, I guess. But yeah, she was extremely powerful. I don't know how they get to Null. They're not gonna be able to beat Null on this power scale. Like one of them, they couldn't beat. Like there was no way. And then she kept regenerating.
Because whatever this is, it works for Null. So it's like if all of these symbiotes are struggling to take out one, because then they get backup. But they're struggling to take out one. Null. It's not on the same playing field.
No, not at all. So that was crazy. Going back to your shots, because I can definitely see that now. One shot in particular I thought was kind of wild, and we see it in the trailer. They're hanging off the side of the plane. He suits up to Venom that's how you realize that's how he's getting tracked. And we see I think it's a xenoflage, I think is what they were calling it, a xenoflage, on top of the roofs in Mexico. And then she just jumps up straight to the plane where it was at. I was like, oh, what the hell? Like, it was right there. You could see the plane and just jump up and you're there. So that was kind of wild. And then they used it again, I think, when on the river scene. Like, she just jumped and she was in the river already. Like, there you go. And then they kind of slowed it down on the Vegas scene. Like, oh, he was, and that's another thing that like I thought was really dumb about it too. The whole time, Venom in particular was like, no, I can't fully transform. I can't go full symbiote because if I do, she's gonna track us and we're dead, and that's it. But he decides to just full transform to dance with Mrs. Chen, I think was her name, Mrs. Chen, and just fuck all that. Oh well, I'm gonna put Miss Chen in danger. Let's have a good time for these next, 5 seconds is what it seemed like every time that thing. So that was really dumb. I didn't
and that looked like it was just there to push the plot along. Because if you just stay hidden, there's no movie.
You're good. Yeah, exactly. You're right. You're absolutely right. Stay hidden. You're fine. You're never gonna get found, and you're good to go. So yeah, that was really dumb. But going back to the cutscenes and the way they edited it, the creature the whole way through was there within a second, 5 seconds at most. And to get to Vegas, it did take a little longer. It took like 10, 15 seconds. So I thought that was very convenient of them.
When the dad showed up with the rocket launcher, I audibly said, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, he got there pretty quick.
Yeah, I was just like, bro, y'all were taking off the other way.
Yeah.
You're back all of us. Like, it was, I don't know.
That was crazy.
But that was the two that like stuck out to me.
It came to me. Throughout the whole movie, we're seeing the Xenoflage hunt him down. She can do it by herself. At the end, she finally decides to do a scream and call for backup. Like, why didn't you scream when you already found the core, or I forget what they called it in the movie, but the core that they were hunting for? Why didn't you scream already and alert the rest of them? Hey, it's on this planet. It's somewhere here. Bring everybody and let's go hunt. So that was another dumb plot that didn't make sense to me. Just scream from the beginning once you found it. Let the rest of them come. So that was kind of weird. Another one that I was really concerned about, and we mentioned this in the trailer too. They got the piece of symbiote that they left behind in MCU. At least that's what we thought in the trailer. We saw it in No Way Home. Piece of Venom got left behind. He ended up getting teleported back to his universe. And then in the trailer, he comes back. Strickland comes back and grabs it. So we're like, what the hell? They're just erasing that plot line from the MCU. So I was a little confused until I did a little bit of research on it. I couldn't quite fully understand what happened, but when he got pulled back to his universe and we see the bartender there, I guess that's just a variant of the same bartender in the MCU that we know. And yeah, this is back to the Sony version stuff. And the piece that Strickland pulled back was another piece that Venom left behind when he left him a tip or whatever, and he said, keep the change. So apparently, I guess we still have our Venom in the MCU that was left behind. So that's still over there somehow, some way.
Really?
Yeah, that's the way I took it. And after I did a little, I was confused until I got home and watched some TikToks and shit, and people explained it. So that's what I took away from it. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, the plot being, Noel looking for this core that he needs to escape the prison, and the only way that it could exist is if somebody died and a symbiote resurrected their host, and now that's the core is available. I thought that was okay. I wish would have seen a little bit more of the Xenophages, like I said at the beginning, just kind of more, because one of them was insane. Spoilers already, obviously it's a spoiler talk. The ending scene with all the symbiotes was pretty cool. Like, I thought, like, M getting attached and getting their host. Dope. Yeah, that was really cool to see. And that Xenophage was just knocking them out left and right, just spitting them out. Like, yeah, that was kind of crazy. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. How'd you feel about Juno Temple, which was from Ted Lasso? How'd you feel about her performance? How do you think she did? What do you think?
Kiwi, man, I love Kiwi. Yeah. I as soon as I saw her on screen, I looked over to Andreas. Kiwi! And so when I say this, I don't think the problem was her, but I found her annoying. Really up until the two scientists helped them escape. Yeah. Like, it was around there when I was I guess my tune or however flipped. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to see her. It's cool to see her in more roles. And like I said, I don't think it has anything to do with her ability to act or anything like that. And I don't think it was bad acting. I don't know. I just found her character
yeah. And I didn't even realize this in the trailer or anything. It didn't come to me till watching the movie. But Strickland, the general, that's Mordo from the MCU. Yeah. I never even clicked, so I was like, oh shit, But so yeah, that was pretty cool. I don't probably never even a connection. I don't know if variants even exist in the Sonyverse. Probably not. It's their own thing. But yeah, I thought that was interesting, and that was pretty cool.
Like, I get it, military, trying to protect, everything. But it just kind of, I don't know if I want to say basic. I don't know if that's the word that I want to use. but just his involvement in the whole thing, and then I could see it coming from a mile away, like, oh, he's gonna help them at the end, like just
Yeah.
things like that were a little predictable. And his involvement in the story was just kind of like when he was having the argument with Keeley, and it was like, I just lost 3 men. Well, can you get samples? It was for both of them. I was just like, bro.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was like,
that's crazy.
are we serious? But yeah, I don't know. Just on that aspect, just a little weak.
Okay. Yeah, that final sequence, like we mentioned, was pretty cool. Seeing all the symbiotes together. Not one of them survived except for Achilles, one that she took with her, which they did incorporate. Yeah,
that was sick.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Speedster symbiote.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that personally. I don't read the comics. Maybe that's in the comics or not, but I haven't seen that, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, none of the symbiotes survived. There was an interesting shot in the trailer that didn't show up. At least maybe I missed it. I don't know if you saw it, but in the trailer you see these meteors, what looks like meteors falling to Earth.
Yeah.
Was that in the movie at all? Did I miss that? Did they just cut that out?
No, that might have been cut.
I feel like that was cut. And there was a line in the movie where
unless that was the flashback.
Was that a flashback?
That was them originally coming to Earth, because they did talk about that in the movie.
Yeah, that one meteor fell to Earth. I thought it was just one, and then that's where they came from. Maybe it was in there. Let me know if that's in there or not. But yeah, we'll see if any future symbiotes show up. By the end of the movie, Venom sacrifices himself, and another kind of crazy thing. There was like 5 xenophages by the end of it, and he kind of just wrapped himself around all of them and kind of started pulling them in. I thought that was like, given their strength and given how strong they were shown to us already, like how was he able to do 5? He couldn't even handle 1. So he pulled all 5, went under the acid, and said his goodbyes to Eddie. Covered up Eddie with like a helicopter door, I think it was, and that was kind of dumb too. Yeah, that
might be the stupidest part of the movie.
That was crazy. The acid's going off. All right, maybe the little steel door can protect you from the acid, but then Strickland decides, you know what, I'm gonna go out with you too, and pulls a pin on the grenade and blows everything to hell, and the whole base is just completely leveled.
Because I was cool with it. You know, once I thought that it was just the acid falling, I was like, okay, it's like, you know, they use these acid doors to protect themselves from the acid. Like, that makes sense. A fucking nuclear explosion, bro. I was like, that was crazy. Alive?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. With no symbiote with him or nothing. He's just Eddie Brock at this point. And yeah, he's all right. I guess the thing protected him from a full blast, and he's all right and got knocked out. But yeah, that was kind of crazy. That was kind of ridiculous. But yeah, like the movie said, Venom, The Last Dance. Presumably he's dead, and that's it. You know, Eddie ends up going to New York and looking at the Statue of Liberty as the last, you know, tribute to him, and I'll never forget you, buddy. Yeah, that was a good part. That was a good scene. I don't think this is the last we'll see of him, though. As I mentioned a little earlier, symbiotes kind of replicate or reproduce themselves, and maybe there was a piece. We still have the piece in the MCU. Maybe he left the piece somewhere else, so I don't think that's the last of it. I would love to see Anti-Venom from this, and maybe that's how Eddie and Venom get back together. Now he comes back as Anti-Venom. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, we'll see. With all the talks of him wanting to fight Spider-Man and come back for you know, maybe other projects in the future, I don't think this is the last we'll see of him. But yeah, this movie was okay. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I did have a good time watching it, aside from those few points that we talked about. But yeah. Anything else?
Yeah. So I've been thinking about what I was gonna say in this review for a while, and I came back to 2 words. Beautiful mess, I think, is the 2 words that would completely define what Venom: The Last Dance was. If you go into this movie and you turn your brain off, you might have a fucking ball. Like, if you don't think about nothing, you're just reacting to what you're watching. 10 out of 10. I'm gonna be honest, because it's a fun movie, and I thought a lot of the comedy was hitting. One of the main things that obviously kept this trilogy around was the dynamic between Tom Hardy
Yeah.
and Venom. Because for as much as I and whoever else that doesn't like, these movies, shits on them, Tom Hardy is a good Eddie Brock. And the Venom and Eddie dynamic works between them two. Like, it's incredible. And honestly, it's so good that my stepson Sebastian, he when Venom died, he was devastated. He couldn't believe it. And apparently he doesn't cry for movies, but this destroyed him. he was over there, like, tears in the face, like he was going through it. But yeah, the dynamic between Eddie and Venom shine through in this. The final battle was great. It was funny. I think it was entertaining. But it was just a mess. It was a beautiful mess. That's the best way I think I can talk about it. And then they didn't mess up Noel, because Noel wasn't in it.
Because Noel wasn't in it. Exactly. Noel wasn't even in it. So we'll see what the future holds for it. We still have Kraven coming out in December. So I don't know if that's going to connect to this any way, shape, or form. Probably not. But we'll see how that does.
It's interesting because I don't know if you saw today, but they had the concrete release date for Spider-Man 4, and it is straight in the middle of the two Avengers movies. Obviously those two Avengers movies are going to be multiversal. We already know that.
Mm-hmm.
And the early reports of Spider-Man 4 was that it was a street level movie.
Yep.
Then we see more reports that it's a multiversal movie. The end credit scene of this, obviously Noel is still gonna try to get out. They still have plans for Noel. I would hope. It could be a throwaway because the second end credit scene, I don't know why the fuck that was in the movie. Whatever. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the play is here. Because Sony and the MCU have had to play nice between Tom Holland and whatever else and making those movies. So it'll just be interesting to see what happens, man. Right now, I don't know. You and me on this podcast are higher on the MCU. I will say that. So I will say that I have a little bit of hope, not obviously in Sony, but if Noel somehow does make his way into the MCU, fire it off. I'm there.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. No, at the same time that they're doing Doctor Doom. Damn, I don't know.
It'd be nuts.
It'd be crazy to kind of fit all that in there, or maybe just a little cameo that, hey, I'm coming. Noel's next after we do our Secret Wars and some shit. I don't know. That'd be kind of crazy.
He's that strong though.
Yeah, absolutely.
All attention has to be averted to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like over Doctor Doom. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Yeah, he's incredibly powerful. And like we said, the Xenophage, they couldn't handle one. So he's gonna have an army of those presumably when he shows up, and that's how they're gonna fight. So yeah, kind of crazy. So we'll see what the future of the Sonyverse has. Kraven's next. Time will tell with Spider-Man 4. We have our hopes for all of that. The King in Black has been going around, the storylines and stuff like that. So we'll see.
Another Sonyverse villain movie with no fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I don't know what number we're at, but it blows my mind. We're 3 Venom movies deep, not one Spider-Man. Whether it would have been Andrew, he comes through a portal, whatever you want to do. Honestly, if you would have done that in this movie, who the fuck would have been mad?
Yeah, that'd have been crazy.
Andrew, obviously Toby can still get in the suit. Either one, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand. And like you said, Kraven's coming up next. Tom's not going to be in that shit. Spider-Man's not going to be in it. I don't know what we're doing.
There's a shot in the trailer with all the spiders that come down from the forest and stuff. So that's probably something at the end, though, to allude to more future stuff that they have maybe no idea what they're going to do with. But yeah, we'll see, man. I don't know. We'll see. People were thinking that little kid was a young Peter Parker in the trailer.
I was thinking about that because I remembered the shot of them on the tower.
Yeah. Turns out, nah. He's just they're just family. traveling to see aliens.
Yep.
And there you go. But yeah, so if you guys saw the movie, what did you guys think about it? Drop your ratings, drop your opinions down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you what you guys think about it. So while you're down there in those comments, go ahead and drop us a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. That would be much appreciated. We appreciate you guys joining the LFG fam, man. We got over 1,000 subscribers already. So if you guys already haven't hit that subscribe button, consider doing that right now and join the LFG fam, man. We get crazy with the podcast. We get crazy with games that we play and stuff like that, and different trailer reactions. There's a bunch. You see the stuff behind Jet. You see the stuff behind me. We do a bunch of stuff in pop culture. So go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button now. That would be pretty cool. But in the meantime, go ahead and keep it locked here to LFG, where we got you covered on anything and everything in pop culture. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.